Live. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Paint Alive. Hope you guys are having a good Thursday evening. We're back to painting some more Cyberpunk. Took a couple of nights off. Not really, but I wasn't in a good spot to stream. But I did manage to get in just a little bit of painting. So let's get you caught up to where we are before I put these guys on here. So, as you know, we started painting Cyberpunk with this guy. His name is Maine, and I added a little bit of glow effect to those little rings, so that's cool. That's basically about it. He's basic. He's pretty much done. Just need to do the basing. I'm going to do the basing on all these models at the very end, once they're all ready to go. So we started with Maine, and then we had then the last stream was David Martinez, right? So we did David Martinez, young and older version, and I think they're looking pretty cool. I finished the detail on the guns here. Actually, some of my favorite from the set. So those guys are done. And then you can see here the bottom of my screen there. That's forget this guy's name, Pysol or some, I forget. But that's a black and white picture of him, kind of, which is not very useful for me. So, and I was painting like a skin tone version of him with his gold hands. So this is him with the gold hands and a little bottle of beer. And so I think this looks pretty good. Like, I'm pretty happy with that. You can come in. So he's looking pretty good there. So yeah, so he's basically done. Not a whole lot of detail on him. So I'm actually, let's just go ahead and delete that. We don't need that. Okay. So next up is, I have a few that I've been working on. So I've been painting like Dorio, I think is her name. She's Maine's girlfriend. So you can see I have some skin done. I have Rebecca, whose skin you can't even really see because she almost matches the background here. So yeah. So until I like paint her dark clothing, you won't see. And then I forget this guy's name. He's just some sort of like Ron Swanson guy with a little man bun. But started painting on him too. So that's, I could be working on any of those three tonight. Maybe let's try to finish one of them. It's mainly going to be painting clothing. So I'm not sure. I think it's probably going to be Dorio. We might as well finish painting her and then try to get as much of Rebecca done as possible. So let's kind of stick with that plan. And I'm going to do a quick Google search here on Cyberpunk 2077. Falco is the name of the last guy, right? Amadeus. See, like there's some photos of Dorio, or like images of Dorio, but they're not. I don't have like a full body shot of Dorio. There's some cosplay of Dorio. Just gonna try to pick a. There's some really interesting cosplay of Dorio. That's not what we're going with. Let me see here. There's like no. Let's see more images. I'm like not finding. Hey, what's up? I'm not finding like good comprehensive images of Dorio. Because the images you see are like she's wearing part of her clothes, not really all of her clothes. I kind of want to see like a full body shot of Dorio, and I'm not having the easiest time finding that. I think I know what I'm going to use though. I'll go back one. Oh, you'll send me one? Okay, cool. I can't stick it up on screen, unfortunately, but I'll look at my text. I mean, honestly, her outfit is really simple, so it's not. So think I don't think it needs to be all that. Let's use this. Well, that's taken a long time to pull up. Okay, you have a paper doll of Dorio. Okay. So Dorio has like it looks like she has black and tech legs. She has these like techie gray legs. I got the detail on the face right. Okay. This shouldn't be that bad then. Let's go off of what you sent me. Shouldn't be that bad. So I need to find the right colors for this. Obviously, black is a color, so we'll use black. And then it's kind of like an azure, but it's a little more gray than you might typically see. So let me see what I have for these colors. If I have colors that match these. I have that graphite color, which is probably a pretty good base color. Or that, I should say that anthracite color. And then I need, yeah, this is good. This morning after blues is a pretty good color for this. Okay. Okay, you get pre-painted acrylic standees. Yeah, so we're gonna do this, and we're gonna base coat. I think the right thing to do would be to base coat the whole thing with like an anthracite gray or something like that. Let's see what I have here. Dark blue. That's not gonna work. Here's like I mean, actually it's probably a little off. I don't really want that. It's almost like it's almost like a periwinkle blue on there. The lilac. This is the right color. Lilac. So it's going to be mostly black, and then the accents will be lilac. Okay, and we're not going to go black. We're going to go with our standby Ten Bros Gray, which is one of my favorite dark colors to use. And then, so she's got these like underboob things underneath here, and I'll paint those black. So this Tenebros Gray is going to go on a lot of different things here. And in fact, the only thing I will not do Tenebros Gray. I'm not going to start with Tenebros Gray. Actually, I will. On the legs. Well, it's good that you have the pre-painted things because I was not really having the best time finding the example art for these. And, you know, I'm already off on the gold fingers guy, but thankfully you like that, so we're sticking with it. Again, if you change your mind, just let me know. We can always do his skin like the gray color, I guess that you see a lot of it. Okay. Okay. There we go. And then I can go back to a bigger brush to do most, if not all, of these. And in fact, I'll do Yeah. I mean, why not just paint, let's just paint them let's paint the whole thing 10 Bros gray, and then we'll come back with the lilac and hit the colors that we need to hit. Okay. So I hope you guys are having a pretty good week. You know, this is all post LVO activity for me. So I'm just kind of enjoying whatever time I have off and available. Work has been pretty nuts lately. And then there's just a lot of things that need to get done, right? Stuff like car maintenance, doctor's appointments, taxes, all that stuff has to happen this time of year. So everybody's going to be very, very busy. I think you sent me the back too. So I can use a reference on the back as well. But yeah, I'm finding with these minis that it's really just about getting those tiny little the little extra details right, so that so we can try to stay as accurate as possible. The actual painting is not the worst in the world. Um, the eyes are really small, so like it's very hard to see the facial detail. You can kind of see that eye there. And then she has like a little blue crystal on her face, which hopefully does not look like just a failed paint job. Hopefully not. Okay. I'm going to leave the fingers kind of a flesh color for now, knowing that they will be painted in a dark metallic when the time comes, because they're like bionic knuckles or whatever. But yeah, just a busy time of year. The past couple of nights and tonight was really about, just having more family time. So, I'm just trying to get in this little bit of painting where I can. And then I'm always printing. So right now I'm printing a fantasy little house. And I printed the main body of it already. So maybe when I get a spare moment here, I'll share with you guys what that looks like. But yeah, printing terrain it gets addictive. It's really weird. Once once you kind of get that printing rhythm down, you kind of want your printer going most, if not all the time. Because I feel like if my printer isn't going, I feel like I'm wasting some opportunity to get some more terrain or something else that me or my family would enjoy. So it's really kind of weird. Okay, so now it's like about getting in here and just getting the inside bit of this collar. Okay. But it looks like I'm gonna wanna, once this dries, I probably am going to use some of that graphite or that anthracite gray as a base color and then work my way back towards that lilac. Oh yeah. Don't sweat it. I'm obviously I family time is a priority, and I've been doing that. You know, it's that, and you know, haven't been feeling that well lately too. So, but we're doing all right. We're doing good. I appreciate that. But yeah, we're they get the time they need. In fact, I just finished playing some Kill Team with my 8-year-old, and that was super fun. There, she's done. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it actually, like, even just doing that just did such a great thing, like helping the rest of the skin and everything pop. Right, so she has this like weird underboob cup things. Okay. We'll let that dry for a minute. In fact, I think Rebecca has a mostly black outfit too. Um, yeah, yeah. He's really enjoying it. He's been playing Scouts lately, and you know we don't play like the full rules, obviously, but it's helping him a lot. Like it's helping him with like making decisions. It helps him with a little bit of math because he's rolling dice and he's figuring things out. So there's a lot of cool things here. Okay, Rebecca is really weird. She has a lot of, like, it looks like she has a red fist and a blue fist. Let's pull this image up. Okay. So I'm going to pull up the Rebecca image. Right? So I'll move this just so you can see here. So it's like she has uh it's like a really, really dark navy color, her jacket. I'll look at that again. Yeah, it's like dark navy, and then she has like these neon green things. She's got the pink there, and then she has a red and a blue. She has a red glove and a blue glove. I don't have an image of the gun, so I'm not sure. I'll find that too. For now, let's go ahead and let's get the really dark blue of her jacket down. So it should actually be more of a gray, I think, before we. Maybe I should go 10 Bros Gray. Yeah, I think 10 Bros Gray would be fine because if the blue doesn't cover well, it's going to be an issue. So, Rebecca's best girl. I'll take your word for it. She looks kind of like playful, sprightly, I guess. I'm going to just be careful I'm not messing up the job, her face job. She has really interesting eyes. it was like 4 different colors just to get her eyes down correctly. Because she has like a layer of like a purple, she's got like a yellow in her eyes, she's even got like a reddish thing to her eyes too. So I tried to get all of that in her eyes. She does seem like a great character. Yeah, this is just fine. Let's get this Ken Bros gray in to kind of block out all the color. And then she obviously has these little green neon, but we'll get to that after we do the dark blue. And then her skin is her skin was interesting. I used like a verdigris color on her skin. So it's like these clothes, they're simple in their colors, but it's like it's just those little details that they pick out. Like the little dots here and there and that kind of thing that kind of makes this challenging. Right? There's everybody's got these little strips, tiny little strips of neon on them that I'm trying to get right. But I think, if you get, with Becca, I think if you get her eyes and her skin right, the rest of this shouldn't be that bad. Right? And I think I'm pretty happy with where the skin is right now. But painting in the rest of her outfit is going to help me determine that. Right? If I need to go back in, try to make things a little smoother, I might. It's more about, let's see what it looks like when you've blocked out all the color that's going to go on her. Right? This sculpt doesn't have any headphones or anything up top, but I can paint little black, like I can do this and just put a little black knot here on the ponytail. Really need a sharper point on my brush. I can go like that, get in there, right? And just kind of give the illusion, even though it's not sculpted in, the illusion that she's got something up there. So while the goal isn't to get Becca done tonight, we can actually get some pretty good progress on her. And I'm really just doing this part because we're waiting for this same exact color to dry on Dorio. And I still have that third guy, too, that Ron Swanson looking dude. So let's let that dry. Oh, I still need to get back here. Still a whole, it's like a spot here. I can't seem to fill entirely. There we go. Okay. It just looks weird. There's just a weird like angle back in here. I'm not really sure what to do about that, but okay. All right. So anyways, back to Dorio. Um, let's let's also paint in the metallic knuckles. Okay, so we're going to use this color again, which is such a great color, adamantium black. This gives it a steel knuckle color. It's like similar to what Maine's knuckles or Maine's fists are like. Just a great color, like an undercoat steel color. Right? So we get that painted in. Okay, and then you have the same knuckles here. And I think I am actually going to have to go in with a pretty tight, I'm going to have to go in with a pretty precise tip here for the rest of this. So I'm going to set this brush aside. See if I've got a better, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a super fine point. It's not quite good enough either. Yeah, it's not quite there. I can use this guy. That's a big old brush. That's a big old, oh man. Actually, maybe I can't use this. Looks like I did a terrible job of putting it away. There's hairs everywhere on this. I can get a really fine point out of it. Right? I got a good fine tip there. But you can see there's like one hair that's like way out. Still, I can deal with that. I can make this work. If not, you just break out the zero. I just don't like painting with the zero. I prefer the big belly brushes. Okay. Anyways, let's pull up the Dorio image. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go in with the lilac on a lot of this. Yeah. Okay. Go in with the lilac. It actually just has a lot of lilac. There's not much else to this outfit. All right. So, starting with the lapel on the jacket. The lilac, in fact, is a little on the bright side, but that's okay, because I have a plan. Because that's actually, I'm going to use that to my advantage. right? It's all part of the plan. All right, so we'll do that. And then she's got this detail here. Yeah, this is all part of Pran. I'll paint this shoulder detail in. Oh, that shoulder detail is actually not supposed to be lilac. Whoops. Let's stop painting it lilac then. It's not, it's just supposed to be black, I guess. That's kind of a bummer. Okay, fine. We'll let that dry. We'll fix that in a minute. Let's just do the rest of the lilac. Okay. So this whole, all the, like, it looks like all of these belts are lilac. All right. Okay, if you go a little bit outside the lines, it's not the end of the world. Again, there's going to be a way to fix that. So just paint them in. So even though I'm trying not to get into the gap there, it's not the end of the world if I do. Okay. You can see where I went over right there. Let's get these straight as we can get them. Okay. They have like another like bright blue on the inside there. It's almost more of like a turquoise thing. And then, okay, so this is where I'm gonna paint. It looks like wondering if it's just easier for me to paint the whole thing. It might be. It might be. We can let's paint the whole thing and rely on the sculpt. Rely on the quality of the sculpt to bail us out. Because I think this will work. So so really I'm just gonna focus on blocking the color out properly, right? And then I'm really gonna just rely on the quality of the sculpt to allow me to fix this. Okay? Right? We paid good money for this sculpt, right, Nelson? Maybe should at least let me pull this off. I'm pretty sure it will. Alright, because going in and painting individual armor plates is gonna suck if I have to do it. I will do it, but I don't believe I need to. I'm gonna try to get away with not doing that. Luckily, this azure, or this, yeah, this azure, this lilac color, It's covering extremely well. So, are these for... Is this a miniatures game or is it an RPG? Or is it kind of both? Right? You have those like colored, you have those pre-colored stand-ins. Is that for like an RPG version of the game? Or what? Okay, I gotta get the bottom of the soles. And there's like a streak or something. Um, there's like a streak behind where the behind like the oh you can use them. Oh, okay, so you can use them. It looks like you can use them for a miniatures game or you can use them for an RPG. Cool. Okay. Yeah, there's like a. It's not even. Doesn't even look like it's on this sculpt, but I'm gonna paint a line in anyway. I'm gonna paint a line in right there. Just to give you a feel of what is supposed to be on this sculpt. But there's not a lot of detail on these shoes. But we got it, right? We'll give you detail on the shoes. Even if they don't give us detail, we'll give you detail. So I'm just going to draw that line there like that. And I messed up a little bit, but we'll fix that in a second. Right, so I have that there. And I'm just going to have this come forward like that. And it's just going to come around like that. There you go, right? Now all I gotta do is just take those and let's paint this back in black here because that was not supposed to be the blue. Little hole here, a little hole there. Okay, let's fix the sneakers. There we go. Whoa. Okay, cool. Okay, so there's these little blue specks that go inside there. I want to make those this turquoise color because I think they'll pop a little better if I make them like a turquoise instead of a blue. And it's going to get you the same light effect. Okay? So there's 3 tiny little dashes. There's one right here. There's one right here. And there's one right here. See? There you go. So you got those. And they exist on the other side as well. One right there, one right here, one right here. They're not sculpted in that well on this side. I'm not sure why this side They look kind of garbagey. That's okay. Let's clean up this top part of this belt here. There we go. Right. So we get those all back down to the right shape. Looking pretty good. All right. It looks like the first coat of the legs are dry. So now it's time to do our little lining magic with this navy gray that I love to use. And again, I'm hoping for the sculpt to bail me out here so that I don't have to paint every little armor plate. Okay. So I'm just gonna, you see how I'm just gonna kind of run it in there and let it tell me where individual plates are. Right? There we go. So the good news is I'm seeing the detail I was hoping to see. The bad news is it's not as sharp as I was hoping it would be, but that's okay. Luckily, this stuff is pretty miraculous. So I can make it do what I want it to do. See that? You can see now we can see what the detail is of the plates here. Right, I have a whole. Okay. Now all you gotta do is go in, remove the pooling, and then I look back at your stand-in to tell me which parts are black and which parts are armor, or the light blue armor. Okay. It's looking pretty good. Okay. Gosh. This is a kind of a cruddy angle here, but you can't even get it. Hey, what's up, Placebo Pete? Cruddy angle here, but I can get it. Ugh. There we go. Okay. All right. Good job, Dorito. Okay. So, it's going to take a minute for that wash to dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that teal, and I'm going to do the teal on the shoes, kind of like it has on your stand-in, right? Sibo Pete, when you coming back down to play some games with us? Gonna bust out the kill teams and the spearheads. I'm really hankering to play some Drowned Earth personally. Okay, right. So we're doing that. So we get that blue in there. Okay. And how are we doing here? She kind of has like green. Let's see. Where's that image? I can't really... Yeah, she has green... Oh, the green neon detail. Okay. There are two little circles here, which I can't even find on the sculpt. I do not see those little circles on the sculpt. I don't see them. Got to finish painting everything. You have a fully painted spearhead. Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, that's okay. I only have one fully painted spearhead too. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna paint. So here's the plan. We're gonna paint some light green. We're gonna paint some light green detail on this. Nelson, what color is Rebecca's gun? You could let me know that. That would be very useful. Okay. Okay. So she has... Right, they just don't have... And then is there anything special I need to know about the back of her jacket? Is there anything special going on back here that I need to be aware of? Neon green and pink. Like this? Is it the same kind of gun like that? It looks pretty similar. Okay, anyway, let's get going with this green detail. Yeah, I don't see that little dot. I don't see little circles on her jacket. So I'm not sure what to do. Should I don't know. Okay, there's supposed to be a neon green like line right here on the cuff. So I'm just gonna paint that in. Some of these details are not well sculpted in, but we'll just do it. We'll do it live! Just Okay. And then let's do... I know this is green here. I might ask you to send me the paper doll of this too. You can send me the front and back paper doll of this. I just want to get them right. You know what I mean. I'm just trying to get them right. Oh, you did? Okay, good, good, good. Alright. And then there's a little... Let's see. I'd rather go up the paper dolls. Whoa. Yeah, she has these two green circles on there. But It's like there's no way. There's no green circles on this paper, on this sculpt. And my eyes are not that bad. Um, I can paint. I can put green dots in and we could just like live in that world. I'm not opposed to that because it's not even there. Like it's not there at all. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. This one, here's one. That's one right there. There we go. Let's live in that world. Let's do it like that. Okay? I cannot get back there. My brush, yeah, I can. Okay. Here we go. All right. And then let's look at the gun. Because if the gun is green, we might as well paint it. Oh. Oh, the gun is a weird blend where really only the center part of the gun is green. Okay. Just the receiver is green. This part. That part's white, and the rest of it's pink. Okay. All right. Oh, no, this paper doll has more green. Okay. So the paper doll has the barrels is green too, which is fine. I'm good with that, so we'll do that. And she has more green on her sneakers. All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate the help. The other thing interesting about the paper doll is the jacket is actually black. It's not blue like I have on the screen there. So you got green here. Actually, that's pretty cool. That makes me pretty happy. Okay. Okay. So we're doing pretty well on her. Actually, how are we doing on this wash? It's still a little on the wet side, so I'm going to give that some more time. Let's actually start with the pink then. Yeah, this thing has like most of this green. It's a little shocking to me. She has two yellow stripes on the flickers flap, the sneakers flap, and yellow bottom. Okay. Yellow bottoms are very easy to do. I'm going to have to start with a with like a sand yellow to get before I can do the bright. Alright, so we're gonna do yellow soles down here. Whoa. You know, other than the fact that I'm just painting tiny little lines, the designs are pretty easy. Like they're pretty straightforward and easy to follow. You just have to get these little details right on them. And it's really not that bad. Okay. All right. There we go. Yellow bottoms. Got some green flaps. These are the tongues. The tongues of the shoes. And green there. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Let's get some pink onto the gun. The paper doll pink is it's a little washed out, so I'm gonna add a little definition to this in a minute. Okay, so then you've got a red right hand and a blue left hand. We're getting a lot done on Rebecca here because we're waiting on that wash for Dorito. So we're actually getting we're gaining a lot of ground here on Miss Rebecca. And there should be a green stripe along the bottom. You learned something, yeah. It's not often you discuss the anatomy of a sneaker. But yes, that is the tongue of the sneaker. Okay, there we go. Got a nice bright red there. Does that go through? Or oh, it goes through, so I gotta paint in that green there. Okay, let's paint in the rest of that green. Okay, now let's get the blue on the other side. This is going to be pretty straightforward. Just need like star blue, and we'll highlight it with Ducati blue. It's really interesting, the whole miniature game development stuff with my kids. You know, Octavius had an interest in miniatures since he was like, honestly, since he was 2. He saw me painting, and back then, he, even as a 2-year-old, he knew the amount of respect that you needed to pay to a miniature as opposed to a toy. And he started collecting miniatures at 2. He didn't start painting them until he was about 4. But, you know, the fact that he understood so much at 2 is pretty remarkable. And I thought he was going to really be the miniature gamer. But, you know, he's got a lot of diverse interests. You know, he's an 11-year-old. He's got a lot going on. He's in the 5th grade. He hasn't quite hit the hormone age with girls yet. But, you know, he has 5th grade drama, right? And he's doing a little enterprising at school too, so he's like selling his friends some of the toys that we've been printing. He's got that going on, and you know, overall, he kind of has a whole, like, a busier life right now, and so miniature games just they're not high on the totem pole for him. And so, you know, so I thought that was really kind of the end for miniature gaming for my kids. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just keep gaming with my friends, right? But, you know, the more Darius, my 8-year-old, you know, Darius has some learning disabilities, right? He has ADHD, and you know, he has a super short attention span. He has a very difficult time focusing, and he's kind of stubborn, right? He kind of has he's not he didn't mature nearly along the same trajectory that Octavius did. So, you know, it's been slower going for Darius. But, you know, on the plus side, I'm finding that I can get him interested in this miniature stuff. You know, it's not so much that I want somebody to game with. It's not even for Darius. It's not even about that. It's about giving him a genuine interest that he can focus on. You know, ADHD kid. It can be. Wow, my cat's really trying to get in here. Um, he's an ADHD kid, and we're trying to find, like, what are some things that we could interest our son in that aren't destructive things, that aren't, you know, bad for him, like, you know, just staring at YouTube all day or something like that. And we're finding that, you know, he's taken an interest in looking at miniatures, and you know, we watched a battle report tonight. We watched a battle report on YouTube tonight, you know, and he really got into it to the point where, as soon as the battle report was over, he wanted to play Kill Team with me. And so I set up Kill Team and we played a quick game. And I used the Kill Team light rules and he got to play the scouts and I was playing blooded and it was super fun. We just run across the board and scream at each other and blow stuff up. And it's been like really good in that regard. So I hadn't even like thought about that before, that this could actually be something very beneficial for somebody like Darius, he needs those interests that he can be focused on to kind of help motivate him. Um, so so yeah, and Kill Team's great because we can watch it on YouTube. He's learning a little bit more about his team. He understands things like, okay, this is the guy that has the heavy weapon, as opposed to, the other characters. This guy has a knife, so this guy's good at like fighting melee. There's stuff like that. Okay, so it looks like a lot of the back here. It's like armor plates up front, right? And a lot of the back here, this back here, is not part of that mechanized deal. Anyways, it is a blessing that um that they both have some interest in it. Octavius it's not as beneficial. It's just fun to have somebody that Octavius really likes to play Moonstone. That's really his favorite. Because Octavius is more of a casual gamer. Like, he thinks it's cool to push the minis across the board. He likes to play games with, Kevin and some of the other guys that can teach him a lot. But for him, it's not something that he really needs to focus down on. He's got a lot of other interests and things, so it's not that critical for him. But for Darius, it's really great. Um, we should have a kiddo. Yeah, I mean, well, I know I've talked about this before on stream. That it's for a lot of us, it's our dream to have like the spouse or the kids or somebody to share the world with you. And at least in theory, it sounds really good. For me personally, when I really sat down and thought about the logistics behind it, I could go either way, right? I'm not exactly begging for that to happen anymore. I thought it would be like something really great, um, and it's not as, to me, in my opinion, it's not as great as you might think it would be. All right, so we're gonna go like that. And it looks like down here, and down here, and down here, that's kind of where the cybernetic parts of the legs end. So like that. It's kind of cool. And then I don't know if I'm supposed to do that, but I am. It looks right to outline that. It looks right to outline this. Yeah, it looks better if I just like hard outline right there. Right? And then I can draw a line here. So I actually added just a couple of armor plate lines myself to kind of help with the detail on these a little bit, because the detail is just ever so slightly lacking on these. You know, there may come a time where uh, I go to LVO and I bring and my family comes with me, and maybe one or possibly both of the kids like jump in on an event with me. That's probably a few years off, right? It could be next year that they come with me to LVO, but really they're really with mom for the weekend, and and I kind of handle the LVO is just still kind of like my time to hang out with my friends, and then I meet up with my kids at night. And then, I probably end up going to Noodles twice in a row, right? I go Noodles with my family one night, and then I go Noodles with you guys another night. Um, and hey, that's pretty awesome. If that were to come to pass, that's pretty cool. Well, I think I'm just gonna paint in. I'm just gonna paint in the lines here for these, because the sculpt doesn't quite. It's not quite doing the job here. See, to me, that looks way better if I do it myself. And I just draw that line in there. There we go. See, you can see the detail on the armor. It's just better if I just line it myself. Okay? And I can even come back in and highlight it, which is something we should do. Let's do it. But for Darius, it's really about having a really good like creative outlet that helps him focus down on something. It gives him motivation to continue to do well in school, you know. And then it helps a lot of things, like even his motor skills, because his motor skills are not great for writing. Um, but if I can entice him to start to get interested in painting, that will help his motor skills, right? So a lot of potential benefit here for Darius. Whereas Octavius, it's more just like character building, right? He learning how to compose himself when he's playing in tournaments, right? Learning how to show maturity. And Octavius is already like super good at those things anyway. So, right? So Octavius, it really would just be purely if he's interested in it. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with where this miniature is. I really don't want to. Oh, wait. There is something I need to do. I don't want to highlight the 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 Ten Bros Gray that much, and the reason is it's such a clean look. I just don't want to take away too much. What I do want to do though is I want to get in here with a little bit of this oily steel or silver and get some of these knuckles done. And then there's one final thing I want to do for tonight too. And then we'll kind of call it a night. I'm not saying I'm done with either of these minis, but we have made some very good progress on them. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight the knuckles there, and there, and here as well. Okay, pretty good. Okay, all right. And then the final thing I want to do before we call it, on Rebecca here, I want to drop some of this shading on the gloves so that you can see the individual armor plates. Right? So we're going to shade those. And then the plan is to come back in maybe tomorrow night and highlight all this stuff. Okay? Because I want this wash to dry. But you can see now it's defining. It's helping to define the different parts of the gun and the gauntlet. Okay? It's pretty good. Alright. But yeah, she's looking pretty good. I know you can't see the detail of the eye that much, but her eyes are pretty wild. Like I knew that was a big feature that I wanted to get right. So the eyes look pretty wild. She looks pretty good too, right? She's looking pretty good. Yeah, I like being able to slow down on these. So tomorrow night I will probably, the plan is to finish up these two ladies, and then I got Falco coming in here. Amadeus, 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 Amadeus. Why is he named Falco? Oh man, it's too funny. Okay, so we got that. Let me show you what I'm printing, just because I just like printing shit. All right, so this is, I don't even know if you can see it. I might have to move some of these minis real quick. Let me scoot you over. So this is, yeah, it's way too big. Let's delete that thing. This is the roof of like a medieval house. This is the top half of it. It's really cool. You got that cool gable there. It's really neat. Really neat house. And it's about the right scale for Kill Team. So I'm gonna add it to that, and it's just good. Like I can use that building for Moonstone. It's just it's too nice. It's too nice to have access to all basically any terrain I want now. It's crazy. I can't stop printing. I'm completely addicted to keeping my printer running all the time. And it's like as soon as I run out of filament, I'm like, oh no. And then you could just Amazon overnight more filament. It's just not good for addiction. Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of, well, I mean, I'm still not printing at high quality either. That's the crazy thing. I have not run a single print at high quality. Everything I've been doing is like, your bare bones basic quality. Like you can see tiny little layer lines here, but it's not bad. You won't see a single one when it's printed. I mean, when it's painted, right? These things are, and this is just a little hut thing, right? That's it. It's just a little busted out hut. It's part of my kill zone Paverticus, poor people land. I just have so much of it though. I still have to pop the trees off this one. Oh, I can't even get it. I can't get some of these trees out. Wait, this one I can probably get. Oh boy. Ow. Ow. That hurt. Yeah, I gotta pop the trees out of this, but like these are super nice, right? And then I can just stick. Oh man, let me try to get this other tree off. Ah, then I can stick these little, right? The little shanty roofs on them, and then it just looks like they look like slightly over sophisticated orc barricades, but it's pretty good. See this one here, you can see there's a little bit of print error on some of those, but it doesn't even look bad. Like you're not going for the super clean look anyway. But see, you could just go like that. You can go like that and stick that on the battlefield like that. Just like a shanty with a little gun hole part. Yeah, I should use clippers, but you know, didn't too lazy to reach for anything. You don't really. Oh, actually, I did get a little. See, I did get a little. I did pay a little bit of a price there, but it's okay as long as I don't fuck up your minis. I don't bust my fingers and then I suddenly can't print your minis anymore. I think so far the coolest guy is this dude. He just looks super clean. I don't know if his face is pretty good. Like we might be able to AI this guy. I don't know if you saw my AI where I did an AI salvo. I might take a picture of this guy and see, can I turn him into AI? This would be, we could use this as a Nelson guy, and you can have Nelson talk, and that guy will just use him as the AI face for Nelson. That would be pretty funny. Actually, the younger face is pretty good too. You could have an AI. Maybe I have Octavius voice this guy. That would be pretty funny. I actually like that idea a lot. I might just do that. I think Octavius would go for it too. He would think it's funny. Anyway. Yeah, that Wonder Woman. Super bled hard. Yeah, I don't know. Did you see this guy? You saw this guy, right? He's looking pretty cool. These are pretty fun. They're pretty fun. And yeah, and then it's going to be Falco. And then the last two are really good sculpts. Right? We got this lady. I'm not. Does she have a mask on? I think she has a mask on. But it's going to be difficult to get her eyes. She got a little tiny little cigarette too. That might be tough. And then this one I think is your favorite because look at that sculpt. That is fantastic. This one is going to be very difficult. But it's I hope this looks great. I hope this one looks great. This is the one I think that sort of like defines the set. So I hope I can do those last two justice. Falco, I think he's gonna paint fairly easily. Right, it's mainly just getting his clothes. But those last two, those are gonna be the more difficult ones. So anyways, with that, it's time for me to get some sleep. Thanks guys for tuning in. I'm gonna get those last two primed up. I'm gonna paint Falco. I'm gonna finish the highlighting on Rebecca here, particularly the gloves and the gun. But a lot of the rest of her is looking pretty good. And then for Dorito, I'm just gonna call her Dorito. She's pretty much there. Pretty much there. So, anyways, thanks guys.